Hey guys, greetings, peace, peace, peace. I always do this. Clear that up. Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room. Let me put, let's name this. Let's go ahead and title this. Hey, Explosive Root Center. Hey, Queen. Hey, what's my mind? Hey, Boo. Nicole. Root Center. Peace, sis. Root Center HD. That's what we're gonna call it. HD. Post. Oops. About to post the wrong thing. All right. So how have y'all 7 days been? Who's been doing the 7 day? Hey, sis. Hey, Lexi. Who's been doing this Root Center reset with me while I'm not at the shop? I'm supposed to be at the shop today. Who's been doing the Root Center reset? Anybody? Anybody been doing this with me? For the last 7 days, we have been posting about the Root Center. The next 7 days, we'll be dealing with the sacral. Lexus, you ain't doing the Root Center? Come on now. Obviously, nobody. The next 7 days, we'll be doing the sacral. The Root Center, I've been really focused on, specifically when it comes to matters of health. Thank you. Okay. See? Now y'all coming in. You've been trying to keep up. When it comes to health, the Root Center is so important. When it is being affected, or root chakra, when it's being affected, it affects our health. Okay? It affects our health because it is a fear-based dynamic. Anytime our root chakra is unbalanced or it is having any type of trauma or issues, it's going to lower our immune system. It's going to lower our immune system. And anytime our immune system is lower, what does that do? It creates things to show up in the physical form. All right. Health issues showing up in the physical form. Hey, Reiki Lounge. All right. So there is a necessity for this particular center, for this particular chakra to be understood, not only through just the chakra system, but also through the human design, because we have been specifically targeted in that area over the last couple of years. Anytime, especially if you watch TV, especially if you're listening to the news, especially if you are following craziness on social media, especially if you are subject to the masses. Okay, the fear is being projected at you because everybody is operating in a fear-based mentality, a fear-based energy that is directly going to affect you, especially if you have an open center, which I'm gonna get into. What is the human design? Because that is the question that I keep getting. Like, what is this HD? What is this human design? This is a system that is formulated between Eastern and Western ideology. All right. It was a system to help you navigate who you are and your journey better. It incorporates things like I Ching, the natal charts, astrology, all of these dynamics, the centers, our energy centers, all of these dynamics to help you understand why you feel a certain way, why you're doing certain things, how you can navigate to be in your true design, your true self, operating your true purpose, compared to doing things that will make you feel pressured or crazy or anxious or depressed or whatever the case may be. The reason that I love the human design system because it is very effective. Okay. I have a house full of kids. Anybody that follow me on my other page, y'all know I talk about my babies all the time. I have a house full of kids and we have pretty much every type in our household except a reflector. And I have watched how this human design shows up in them. Once you understand, not only can you parent better, you can navigate your own personal journey better, you can actually stop participating in the conditioned mindset. And that is the part that I think intrigues me the most, is the fact that we are very conditioned in this society to operate in an energy or a frequency that's not ours, and then don't understand why we having these physical ailments come up in our lives, or why are we depressed, or why are we feeling stressed out. These dynamics are coming from because you are living a design or a blueprint that is not yours. Okay. And when you're living an ideal that is not yours, then of course, all of these dynamics are going to come up. Of course, you're going to have reproductive issues. Of course, you're going to be stressed out and have high blood pressure. All of these things start out here first and then come and show up in this physical form. So how do we navigate that? We're starting with this root center. The root center, listen, if you understand how the root chakra works, okay, we talked about that stability. That's everything that we need on this physical plane, okay? That's food, clothing, and shelter. Love, okay? All the things that we desire in this human form, in this flesh experience, this is where that root chakra or that root center establishes the foundation. Now, from the chakra perspective, that's the 0 to 7 year phase. 0 to 7 years. All right. So everything that happened to us when we were children, whether we were taught to a certain way, whether we were left home by ourselves too much or not enough. Okay. Whether we were abused when we were children, whether we experienced some sort of sexual trauma, all of those dynamics happen between 0 to 7 is going to affect your root chakra. So what is that going to do for you? That means that you in particular need to be regularly checking in with your root chakra. You need to regularly align what is going on with that energy center. Because if you don't, okay, when you don't, it is going to throw you off in your everyday activity. Your money not right, root chakra. Your love life not right, it's the root chakra. You've been bouncing around from home to home to home. That's your root chakra. So when we translate that information over to the center, when it comes to human design, that is the pressure. It creates this pressure for us. And the pressure is either the consistency to follow through with what needs to be done to secure home, food, clothing, shelter, all of those dynamics. Or it is the pressure of not doing those things. So when there's too much pressure, 9 times out of 10, everybody is following some kind of way in that space. And the reason I say that is that we are raised in a society, specifically over here in Western or America, okay, Western society. They are teaching us to hustle, no sleep, grind till you get it, hustle till you die. All right. That's the mentality that's been fed to us. Number one, that shit don't work for every energy type. Let's be real clear. It does not work. If you're a projector, you should not be following hustle till you get it. No, that's not your shit. That's not yours. All right. That hustle mentality will have you burnt out real quick. I can show my hand for that. I can do my testimony on that. Okay? It'll have you burnt out real quick. And then when you do burn out, you ain't going to have the desire to do nothing else. You ain't going to want to do nothing else because you burnt out because you were following a blueprint and a design that is not yours. So that mentality that is being fed to us is not how we should be operating. If you have a defined root center, and if you don't know how to get your chart, let me say this first. You can go to mybodygraph.com or Jovian Archive. I'll make sure I make a post after this that I have, or when I post this, I'll put the websites in the description. Go pull your chart. The very last center is the part where you want to pay attention. Is it solid or is it open, which means it's white? Does it have a color or is it fully white? If it is solid, okay, 9 times out of 10, and that's 60% of the world. 60% of the world have a defined root center. Y'all are the people that you go by your own consistent flow. Defined centers, y'all, it's very consistent. When I see a chart with someone with defined centers, I know that I can consistently depend on them to do X, Y, and Z. Whatever that center does, I can consistently depend on y'all to do that. Okay? So for the root center, that's all about I go at my own consistent pace. I'm not going to feel rushed. I'm not going to feel hurried. You're not going to pressure me to do some shit that I don't want to do. This is my own pace. However I feel that I need to do it, however I flow, this is going to be the pulse, because it's called the pulse. You're going on a rhythm. So it's like whatever rhythm that I need to operate in, that's what I'm going to do. That's a healthy root center that is defined. Now, when it's not healthy, 9 times out of 10, you're overly stressed. You're feeling the pressure. You are feeling the pressure so much that you want to impose your demands on other people. So if somebody else is not doing stuff as quick as you would like them to do it, or somebody's not operating in the way that you want them to operate, or doing things the way you want them to do it, listen, y'all are the ones that'll be like applying pressure. You'll be like a drill sergeant to people. So when you are, and this is really both dynamics. I done seen it happen in both. Okay. But mainly with my defined, y'all will feel the pressure so much because you're not listening to, you're not going in your natural flow. You're allowing other people and outside dynamics to pressure you to do something that you don't even want to do. Don't allow people to pressure you into a rhythm that's not yours. If you don't naturally feel that this is the flow that you're supposed to be operating in, you ain't supposed to be doing it. That ain't your shit. Okay? It's not yours. So that consistent flow, depending on where it's powered from, because if you have a defined root center, normally it's connected to either the spleen, the emotional, which is your solar, or it's connected to your sacral. So each one creates a different vibration for that root center, okay? Whichever one it is, that pressure will be operated or activated, okay, from that design. It'll be like, oh, I need to do this now. This is the time for me to do it. I'm going to click into motion now. Or, oh, I got the adrenaline rush. Let me do this now while I'm energized. I'm hyped. Or, oh, I'm feeling emotional about this. I'm feeling aggravated about this. I'm whatever. Like, I don't know if it's just me. I know I don't have a defined root center, but I can see this being a issue. When you get mad or you aggravated, you go to cleaning up the house. I don't know if this is just me. Y'all ain't gonna make me feel like it's just me. I know when I'm frustrated or irritable, there's either one or two things gonna happen. I'm gonna take a nap. I don't want to talk. I just want to go take a nap. Or I go to cleaning up. I need to get stuff clean. I need to go. I'm gonna start doing this, and I don't want nobody to help me. I want to just listen. So be mindful. The thing that y'all need to understand, be mindful to your own routine, your own flow, your own pace. Don't allow anyone to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. Just go at your own pace. If it feels like this needs to be done now, then do it then. If it doesn't feel like this is a time for you to rest, it's a time for you to be still, it's a time for you to figure out something else to do. Or not. Just be still. Y'all have a great way of mastering when it's time to be still and when it's time to be in motion. But like I said, this is only if you are identifying your own consistent flow. When it's unhealthy and it's off-centered, That 9 times out of 10 means that your stability is threatened. Your comfort level. So that's when you flip back to the root chakra dynamics. My food, clothing, and shelter is being threatened. It's not in the space that I want it to be. Normally when those are affected, guess what? That root center pressure is either going to be intensified or it's going to be leveled out or lowered. Because then sometimes if you are operating in an energy and it's low, it's not enough pressure, that's when you get lethargic. That's when y'all experience depression. That's when you are experiencing emotional energies. Normally it means there's not enough momentum. There's not enough energy that's coming through that root center to allow you to kick in drive, to kick in motion. Okay? You got to kick in motion. You got to kick into that drive. You got to be able to see, boom. Okay. I understand why this is not happening. This is why I'm stuck. This is why I'm stuck in a certain position. And identifying why do you feel that way. Okay. So now let's get into your open dynamic. Let me go to my notes on this one because we got a lot. Us open center, that's 40% of the population. Us open centers, I'm just saying, I'm with y'all on this. I'm with y'all. So the open center, typically, what we tend to do is be inconsistent. Okay, we the inconsistent babies. Okay, what does that mean? When we're inconsistent in this open center, 9 times out of 10, you're the one that's like always got some shit to do. You always got a list. I feel bad because even where my notes is, I got to-do lists in here. I got like all kind of like, yeah. I'm always working off of a list. I'm always finding something to do, something to work towards, something that is like grabbing my attention, and it just, there's an urgency to get it done. Especially when you are in situations that do what? Let's go back. What is the root chakra all about? Affects your food, clothing, and shelter. Your love life. Anytime that you are being affected in those areas, whether you have a defined or an open center, this is when you're going to see your root center do some old freaky crazy stuff. So for us that have an open center, we're the ones that will be like, we feel like we always got some stuff to do. We always are pressured to get things done. There's always that pressure. I just got to get this done. I just need to finish this. And it's because we are consistently wanting to get rid of the pressure that we feel. Root center that is open, we're the ones that's like, okay, I don't want to feel like I still got this lingering over here. So them dishes sitting on the counter gonna aggravate the hell out of me. Because I need to get that done. I need the kitchen to be clean. Okay? Or, you know, if you are trying to get to a certain destination, you're trying to manifest this house, let me hurry up and get whatever it is that I need to get done or started so I can manifest this car, house, whatever. Okay? Now, where you can go wrong when you have this open, you need to sit down. Relax. Be still. When you are feeling the pressure, take a breath. Go walking. Put your feet in the ground. Okay? You need to get very grounded. You need to be very still. Don't feel like, let me go, 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 go. Be still. It's crazy because the open centers, y'all are the ones that be on 100 and you ain't really got no energy to be on 100. So you're going to burn out quicker. You're the one that will burn out quick and then be popping off at everybody, especially my mothers. Y'all be popping off because you done did all of this stuff and you being pulled in 500 different directions, but you chose that. You decided to sign up for all of them different task lists. You the one that felt like you had to be responsible for everyone's happiness, everyone's, security and dynamics. Be still. Come back. Figure out how to meditate. Figure out how to breathe. Figure out how to be centered. When your open center is being affected, 9 times out of 10, there's, like I said, those dynamics. But you could also be in a situation that you are around someone who has a defined center. And why does that affect you? Because when you have an open center, what we tend to do is pull all the energy. So in this case, all the pressure that defined root center person knows how to operate in. They know how to naturally disperse of that energy in the way that is right for them. But when we get all of their energy and we have our own inconsistent energy, then not only are we pressuring ourselves to get stuff done, we're pressuring everybody else around us. We're in the space where we getting aggravated because they ain't finishing stuff in a timely enough fashion for us. Why you still ain't got that done? I just did this. I was fussing at my baby. Not my physical baby that I birthed, but one of my babies that have been with me on this journey. I was fussing at them because I felt like, okay, why you ain't finished with this? Where's your to-do list? How you ain't get this done in this amount of time? What you doing? It ain't serious to you. No, they operate in a different frequency in a different time zone than me. So you have to be mindful. Is this a divine pulse? Are you dealing with someone who is inconsistent in that energy? And now we get into the relationship dynamic or how y'all parent. Pay attention. Are your children operating with a defined or an open center? Because you pressuring them to finish cleaning their room or do certain tasks, but that might not be their energy. Their pulse might operate in a certain frequency. You have to be mindful of that. Okay? Be mindful of how you are pressuring other people to complete the task that is on the table. Is that their own natural flow? Or is it something that you do kind of got to apply pressure because they might be a little lackadaisical? Open centers, sometimes we can procrastinate. We'll wait until the last minute. If our energy, if we're off. Defined centers, they're absolutely known to procrastinate sometimes because it's going at their own flow. They don't feel a rush or a pressure to get shit done. They like, okay, if I'm going to get it, I'll get it done in my own time. Open centers, we feel like we needed to have it done like yesterday because we don't like the feeling of the pressure. So how are you using your awareness? Because this is what this comes down to. How are you using your awareness to say, oh, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm feeling a little stressed out. I'm feeling a certain way. Let me go sit down and be still. Let me take time to reflect. Let me establish whether or not this is an important thing for me to be doing right now, or am I just adding stuff to my list? Is this at the top of my priority list, or is this something that I can push off a little later? I don't have to get this done today. This is something I've been trying to master for like some years. Now that I understand it better, there's more times of, I don't have to do that today. I can go take my nap. I'm scheduling naps this year. Okay, I'm a projector, so I'm scheduling naps. I don't know about y'all. I need my rest. I need time to regroup and get re-energized. Okay? So you got to be in a space. Are you in the the flow of your own rhythm, the pulse of your own rhythm? Or are you like going too fast? Are you on the road to being burnt out? Are you on the road to the reason why you got high blood pressure? The reason why you having a stroke? Our pressure centers are two places in our body. And I'm going to just touch on this real quick. We have two pressure centers. We have the crown and we have the root. Both of them, okay, both of them create that pressure or that need to either get stuff done, the need to figure things out, the need to come to a solution. Oh, wow. Hello, Kenny. I see that. We got the same. You need to follow our Spiritually Yoked page. Hello, Kenny. So those of y'all who have a relationship, make sure y'all go over to Spiritually Yoked. I'm specifically tackling dynamics that are in the human design, how you're supposed to look at your chart, and how you can learn to adjust from this conditioned way of loving. Shameless plug right there. Okay, so when we are operating in our energy correctly, okay, when we're operating in our energy correctly, we understand that we need to be still and we need to listen to when it's the time for us to move, when it's the time for us to flow, when it's the time for us to be still. When you have a divine center, listen to your own rhythm. Don't allow anyone else to force you. Listen to your own rhythm. The reason this is important because, like I said, it will weaken your immune system. A lot of things is more deeper than the way you're eating. I cannot just tell y'all to eat alkaline and make sure that you're eating a certain way and that's going to solve all the problems. It's not. Please don't let these people have you fooled. It's not. You could be the most alkaline, yoga, posing, meditating fool out here and still end up with cancer, still end up having a stroke, still end up with heart disease because you're not paying attention to what is at the root. You're not paying attention to what is going on in your body and how you're supposed to navigate. We all have our own individual roadmaps, instruction manuals, GPS, whatever you want to call it. When we are not honoring, okay, that information, we're going to tend to fall into situations and dynamics that are not in alignment. They're not in alignment with you. So yeah, it's going to produce things on the physical realm that you're not going to want to deal with. Specifically, and I deal with mostly women, so my men, don't take offense when I'm, leaving y'all out. But I know with women, we have a tendency, especially my mothers, we have a tendency to overly stack our plates. Especially mothers who are raising their children alone. You have a tendency to not only take care of your children, but every damn body else besides you. So you're definitely not taking the time to say, hey, I need to get my self-care in. I need to schedule some time for me to meditate. I need to schedule some time for me to just be still, for me to reflect, for me to celebrate all of my accomplishments and the things that I have done, okay, to get here. I need for y'all to be mindful and cognitive of this because y'all are the ones that, specifically in the melanated community, that are dying at a very high rate with things going on in the reproductive area and in the heart. Why? Because these are the areas that we take on disappointment, pain, hurt, injustice, pressure. Slow your ass down. Everything cannot be built in a day. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Nah, shit wasn't built in a day. Quit feeling like you can heal 20-some years worth of suffering in one day. You can't. It can't happen in a month. It takes time. This is a process. And not only is this a process that you need to consistently operate in. So let me touch real quick on when you are in a relationship, because that's what I want to end on. Hold on, let me address. Somebody came in and was asking about enemas. Are enemas healthy? I'm going to do a whole live on enemas and colonics because I know that this shit trending right now because of certain people. But I'm going to do a whole live on enemas and colonics and the benefits and the dangers of it, okay? What's the profile? It's called Spiritual Yoke. AJ, can you put our page that's for couples in there in the chat room, please? All right. So when we talk about couples, you know, we've been conditioned that it's a happily ever after. You meet this person and then it's supposed to be like smooth sailing and you're supposed to see the stars and the sparks and everything is beautiful. And sometimes that shit is true. Sometimes it's true. It's true. Okay? Depending on the people. How much is your awareness? What did you work on? How much trauma did you experience? What is your connection when you come together? Okay? So when we get into, since we're talking about the root center, when you have two energies that come together, and let's say your root center is defined together. Okay, y'all fill up that void. Most of the time, that means that you're going to be consistent at knowing there's a natural flow for each other to accomplish things. There's a natural flow for each other to do what needs to be done. And you will tend to be a little more mindful. Okay? You'll tend to be a little more mindful of that person has a certain way that they do stuff. They have a certain way that they flow. So it won't trigger you too much. Okay? Now, when you have an open center, that means there's going to be that inconsistency. It's going to be an inconsistency. That means that there might be ways for you to learn, because anytime you have an open center and your charts come together, all right, when your charts come together and we have a partnership charts, and I'm going to start doing partnership charts maybe later on in the year. I ain't doing it right now. But when your energies come together, okay, you normally attract what you are not. So for me and my partner, I'm a projector. My ass is like pretty much open. Like I only got defined crown, third eye, and a throat. That's why I do what I do. I can come on here and talk to y'all for a few hours if I wanted to about knowledge and solutions and all of that shit. That's just me. Okay, but the rest of me is open. I used to make the joke that I could be in a relationship with just about anybody. Why? Because if they are, most of the world is the like generators or manifesting generators. With everybody having these defined centers, I can get in a relationship with them. They're filling up and completing things that are in me. So when we come together, me and my partner comes together, then our root center is open for us. It's the only center that's open. This means that all our learning lessons are going to come through the root center. How we make money together, how we secure our foundation together, how we provide for our children together, listening and learning what are different ways and avenues, because anytime you have an open center, this is how you gain wisdom. We'll be able to show people, because that's what we're mastering. This is an area to master. how to do this together, how to operate in love together. So it's only natural that we started spiritually yoked. It's only natural that we can show you how to do different things when it comes to this earthly experience, because both of us came together to experience this wisdom in that center. So that sound all cute and fluffy and shit for y'all, right? Now, it's cute when you know and you have the awareness. When you don't have the awareness, then arguments over money probably is going to come up. Arguments on how we keep the home will come up. Arguments on how you raise your children will come up. Arguments over basic fundamental earthly survival will come up. Listen, Linda. So you have to look at these charts, these partnership charts, and understand, okay, this is where we are growing through. If you don't have the awareness of where you are growing through, it's going to be a trigger. It's going to be something that you're going to be sitting there like, dang, we got all of these different dynamics that's clicking, but this right here, I want to punch you in your eye. You triggering the hell out of me in this. 9 times out of 10, it's because either y'all have an open center there, or you have an electromagnetic, and that's a whole nother dynamic. Okay. Chemistry there. That means that y'all are one side of the channel. So somebody is the yin and the yang. You the yin and the yang. And when y'all come together, y'all complete each other in that channel. So, like I said, that's stuff that I'll be talking about on Spiritually Yoked, because I don't want to get too deep in that. So when you are a couple or when you are parenting, it is really imperative that you understand what is being activated, what is happening. Are you imposing or conditioning your child or your mate to do what you want them to do because you are the opposite of them? How are y'all paying attention to what frequency and what energy is being presented? And then how do you learn? How do you create something that is going to feel good for both parties? We have to not only take the time, I'm too old to be on my legs like this. We gotta start taking the time to not only invest in our relationships and in ourselves, but understand how this information also help us parent better. And the reason, and I don't know how I'm going to include parenting information moving through this year, but I find that we definitely parent from a very conditioned space. And that could be detrimental to our children, because I look at how many people that I do consults for and that I help with in many different factors. A lot of stuff stem from their childhood, which is the root center, root and sacral. So these 2 chakras that we about to attack is really important. We got to understand how to show up for our children better. Quit expecting them to be mini grown-ups. I know on my personal page, I posted like, y'all expecting them to master their emotions when grown-ass people can't master their emotions. They don't even understand that. But you want your 5-year-old to master it. You want them to master dynamics that y'all haven't even figured out. You still trying to get under control. Our children learn by example. Show them the example first. Master it within yourself first. And then take the time, the way that you are understanding your own natal chart, make sure that you are understanding your baby's natal chart. Make sure that you're understanding, like, there's a reason that I was talking about my 5-year-old, but at that time he was 3. My 3-year-old is standing on his head having a whole conversation with me, very clearer than when he's standing upright. There's a reason. And instead of going into why you can't just stand, no, Understand that that's a part of his process. That he need to be outside cutting cartwheels, getting in the mud, and doing all kind of extra flips because that's his energy type. Once we understand that and understand who these people are, they have their own blueprint as well, then it will help us be better equipped to navigate or guide or create an environment that is conducive to who they are. And that's the whole goal. I want to make sure that we're creating environments not only for ourselves, but also for our children to evolve. The root center and the root chakra is all about our evolution. How are we mastering these earthly dynamics to evolve as a collective, to evolve as people? How are you taking the time to ask relevant questions to create your evolution? Are you taking time to really see what's at the root of it all? All right. I love you guys. Like I said, if you follow us on Spiritually Yoked will be specifically dealing with relationship charts, information as far as understanding the gates that help us connect better, that help us understand who we are in these partnerships. A lot of people want to go off of, oh, you just let the flow. No, that flow should have had y'all jacked up in the long run. Some people naturally will get it and they naturally do stuff, but I want you to not only live a healthy life, but I want you to live the best life that you can. I want you to be happy and in love. I want you to still have that type of love that y'all holding hands when y'all 80, okay? And understanding, because I see a lot of people breaking up. I see a lot of people going through, especially because of that quarantine. That quarantine took a lot of y'all out. It almost took us out. Shit. The quarantine was a fool. Okay? So that quarantine made you start seeing your mate for their weaknesses and their strengths. Now, if you understand how to apply that information, not just look at it from a space of, they always trying to tell me what to do. Maybe that's their strength. Maybe you need to lean into the fact that they're the one that's supposed to help y'all structure things out. They're the one that's supposed to help you walk more in the emotional frequency that is needed, because it creates healing. How are you paying attention to what is needed and what strengths that person? That person was attracted to you for a reason. That person was brought into your life for a reason. Not just for you to be frustrated, not for you to experience suffering. A lot of times y'all get caught up in they on some bullshit. Maybe you were on some bullshit too, but that's a whole nother life. My whole point is, if we get out of this so-called conditioning of how we love people, that I love you as long as you're doing what I want you to do. I love you as long as you're, following what my needs are. We can have some longevity. We can stop having broken homes. That's my goal. I need us to stop having these broken ass homes. All right. Tomorrow we start with sacral, i.e. why I got my orange on. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start our 7 days on the sacral. I hope you're ready. This is going to be a great 7 days. It's one of my favorite chakras, the sacral and the solar. So it's one of my favorite. Willfully, you have done what you needed to do over these last 7 days to tackle this root chakra. If not, make sure you go back to the first video that deals with breaking down the root chakra. And then look at all my posts that I posted. I posted exercises, yoga positions, foods, herbs, smell goods. That's something that I wanted to say. Frankincense and myrrh for this root center will help you be still. It will help you calm down. Okay, it'll help you calm down. So that is a great scent for you to keep burning in your house if you have open or defined center. All right, I love you guys. Make sure y'all check in. I'll probably do another video tomorrow breaking down the whole sacral dynamic, and we'll get started with that. All right, peace.